Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be giving you guys 11 balance changes that we want to see inside the next update to shake up the meta. So let's hop into it. Alright, so we're going to start with the nerfs, and we're going to start with probably the obvious nerf that everybody is probably already thinking, and that is going to be Brock. Now, this is probably not coming to surprise to anybody. We want to nerf Brock's shot radius or shot explosion radius. Brock's shots are just too easy to hit right now, in my opinion, and I think if you nerf the explosion radius, Brock's gonna be knocked down quite a bit of ranks just that alone. I think you don't have to make it super small like it used to be before, but definitely nerf it a bit. I don't think it should be able to hit behind walls. That's kind of broken in my opinion. I don't think that should be a mechanic, but either way, nerf Brock's explosion radius, and yeah. Alright, the next nerf that I want to see inside the next update is going to be for Mortis. Now, in my opinion, there is no really good counters to Mortis. Honestly, a good Mortis can outplay his counters pretty easily. Again, there is counters, I'm not saying that, but again, Mortis should just not be able to run over a game and just completely win the game by the Mortis himself. I think that's too broken in my opinion. And the way I would nerf Mortis is to reduce the HP he gains from the Creepy Harvest or Bats, one or the other. Because honestly, once Mortis gets one kill, it feels like everybody on your team already wastes all their ammo trying to kill the Mortis, and Mortis is full HP. So Mortis is, again, just going to run over your team, get out, do whatever he wants, probably team wipe at that point. So just nerf Mortis's recovery HP after getting a kill. So nerf Creepy Harvest or nerf the Bats, something to do with nerfing the HP regen. Alright, so the next nerf that I want to see inside the game is going to be for Byron. Now, in my opinion, Byron is just overall too good right now. Can be used as so many different types, or so many different playstyles, as an aggressive sniper, as a healer, you name it, Byron is good at it. And honestly, I think just nerfing the supercharge rate, it only takes 3 shots to charge a Byron super, and in my opinion, that is way too fast, and Byron shots are not that hard to hit. So if you nerf, the supercharge rate and then make it like 5 shots or something, I think Byron will be in a better place. Again, still probably will be pretty good, but at least nerf it a little bit. Alright, the next brawler I want to nerf is going to be Leon. Now, this one is pretty basic. Again, I just want the lollipop drop gadget to basically get nerfed. I want it to be more like a bow totem where it, decays over time. Because if the enemy team doesn't have a way to take it out, I think it should not be on the map the entire game. In my opinion, that's just too OP. I think that if it eventually just disappears, you have to go replace it. It gives the other team a chance at least to push up the map or do something inside the game. So again, just add a little decay to the lollipop drop gadget, or even maybe an additional nerf would be to reduce the supercharge rate of Leon's super. I mean, it's just, once he gets a super, it's basically a free kill. There's no way, unless you're super coordinated with your team, that you're going to survive. So, those are the 2 nerfs that I'm looking at for Leon. Alright, so the next brawler that I want to nerf is going to be Byron's companion, which is going to be Ash. This combo is just too broken in my opinion. And even without Byron, I think Ash is still really, really strong. So honestly, just Ash is too tanky. Unless you're running counter comps or counter brawlers to Ash is going to be able to get behind a wall, and then it's pretty much game over. You're not going to be able to get that Ash out. So I think nerfing Ash's HP would go a long way at making this Ash Byron comp not so good, as well as, just making Ash not such a dominant brawler. And alright, and the last nerf that I want to do is going to be for Buzz. Now, this is just a small nerf. I think Buzz is very, very strong, but a lot of regions sleep on Buzz a little bit. And honestly, just a small nerf to the supercharge rate I think could go a long way. And the main reason is because the stun super is just basically a free kill if you hit it. And I think if Buzz doesn't get as many stun supers inside the game, Buzz won't be as dominant as he is. So that's all I would nerf Buzz for. But yeah, get into the buffs. Alright, so the first buff that I want to see is going to be for Carl. Now, this has to be very, very careful, because if you buff Carl too much, Carl becomes one of the best brawlers inside the game. And if you nerf Carl, he becomes absolutely useless like he is right now. So honestly, I think just a slight faster pickaxe speed or reload speed, it could go a long way for Carl. That, or just a slight damage buff, could maybe help Carl, kind of creep his way back inside the meta. Nothing too crazy, because otherwise he'll be probably the best brawler inside the game. Alright, so the next buff that I want to see inside the next update is going to be for Meg. Now, in my opinion, I definitely messed up the last video where I ranked Meg like number 4 or something, and I think that was just a little bit early because people didn't know what they were doing versus Meg. I felt like I was getting my super easily, and obviously Meg's mech form is actually really strong, so I felt like I was doing a lot inside the games, and that's why I think I overranked Meg a bit. But either way, I think Meg's mini form is just too weak in my opinion. Once Tara drops pets or Ruff drops bags, the game is over. You cannot take those out. You have to use like 10-12 ammo to actually take out that stuff, and it's just unplayable in my opinion in the mini form. So if the other team knows what they're doing, you're going to be really useless inside the game. So I think a small damage buff to Meg's mini form could go a long way, maybe make Meg a little bit more viable in my opinion, but either way, that's what I think. Alright, so the next brawler I want to see a buff for is going to be for Lu. Now, I think Lu has never really found a place inside the meta other than in Hot Zone and Siege, and that's because Lu is so good at area control. But right now, and for the past little while, Lu has not been meta for a long time, and so I think a damage buff to Lu could go a long way in making Lu at least meta back in the modes that he should be meta in, which is going to be Hot Zone and Siege. I think he's just such a good defender in Siege and good at controlling a Hot Zone. It's kind of even a shame that Lu is not meta in those modes. So again, a small damage buff hopefully will make Lu meta. Alright, so this next buff is a bit controversial. Now let me know what you guys think about this one, but I want to buff Nida's range. Now, not crazy range because that would make Nida probably one of the best brawlers inside the game, but a small range buff to Nida could go a long way. In my opinion, Nida gets countered by a ton of lanes right now and just, you know, loses lane to basically most brawlers, and I think with a little range buff, Nida would actually be viable and make maybe Nida a very strong lane brawler. I would like to see, again, Nida back inside the meta. Either a small range buff or a small damage buff. One or the other, I think, could go a long way. Alright, so the last buff I want to see inside the next update is going to be for Jessie. I want to bring some of the spawners back, like Nida and Jessie. And again, projectile speed buff is what I think would make Jessie more meta. And basically, you know, Jessie's shots are just too easy to dodge at this point. Making those shots faster, making it easier to get your turret could make Jessie OP. So I wouldn't even mind seeing Jessie OP. It's been a very long time. And I know Jessie, you know, kind of dominates the low trophy range, but at competitive level, Jessie's just not that good. So either that or a small damage buff, again, could make Jessie back inside the meta. Alright guys, that's going to be it for the video. Now let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought about the 11 balance changes that I suggested. Are they kind of ridiculous, or just let me know if you guys would add some more balance changes, if I'm missing some. But either way guys, if you did enjoy, make sure to hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.